off that exhausting hamster wheel and into balanced living with Dr. Marissa.
Promise you joy in the mystery.
Dr. Marissa, also known as the Asian Oprah. Her mission, to be a beneficial presence on the planet. Her purpose, to be your personal advocate to live, laugh, love, learn. Her life motto, don't die wondering. Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And welcome. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get balanced with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News, CNBC News, and NBC Sports Radio Station, AM 1050, FM 106.5, and streaming everywhere. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Audible, Amazon Music, Tiki Live, Rumble, Podchaser, Spreaker, Streaker, and more. And this is a show about hope and happiness, so we're no headlines here, only heartlines, balancing out all of the negative headlines that are out there. You can get that anywhere, but here, you can come and chill and relax, and it's a safe space for you to be happy. Claim your birthright to happiness 88% of the time. And I have topics and guests to that end, and co-hosts. And you can see right now from who's in studio with me that it is time for Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Dr. Tiffanie is a U.S. Navy veteran, a published author of many books now, retired OBGyn from Compton, California. She's a playwright, songwriter, singer, and more. She is, packing in the children's books. There's so many. We'll hear about them during break, but please welcome back to my studio, Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Always, always, always a pleasure.
Good morning, darling. Yes, it is. Let's just jump right into breakfast. I see some eyeballs already in the studio, which is wonderful. Please have breakfast with us. And what that entails is taking a bite of my gratitude sandwich. Top of the bun, things outside yourself that you're grateful for. And the bottom of the bun, things that you are grateful for inside of yourself. Therefore, let's get started. Dr. Tiffanie, what are you grateful for?
I am grateful that my computer crashed on me yesterday. And surprise, surprise. And despite my computer crashing, that is still a gratitude because I had the capability to go out and get another computer. And I spent the evening configuring it. So when life hands you lemons, you make lemonade, people. We don't gripe. We just figure it out. So I'm turning that saltiness into a gratitude because to rebound, and I had my children helping me to get it together and fix it because I went to type something and I'm like, oh my God, I can't type. And my daughter has been telling me to get a new computer. She's like, you've had that laptop since I was like in elementary school or junior high. But I'm like, it still works. I did not want to let it go, but to let it go because it forced me to let it go. But I'm turning it into a gratitude because I had the ability to replace it.
Absolutely. And it had me a little bit nervous. She's usually not the co-host that's normally late, no names to protect the guilty, but she mentioned new computer and I went, that is why. So I am grateful that Jerry Foxall is in studio this morning. Happy Wednesday. She's the captain of my cashew gallery. So please do, unless you're driving. If you're driving and listening on the AM FM side, please do not chat. But if you're not, if you're settled anywhere and would like to join in, we always love participation here on this show because I am live every single weekday morning. And that is my gratitude too for 672 consecutive weeks. And I just took a peek, even though I'm not big on numbers, y'all know that, but it was very nice to see that it was at 372,500 views on this YouTube TV channel. So for that, I'm very grateful. Dr. Tiffanie, what else are you grateful for?
Yes, I am grateful that Jerry, who is one of my sorority sisters, is here to support us today. And I love that they are very supportive of the show and of me in general.
Yes, they are. I am grateful for a beautiful article that came out yesterday about me on David's Guide. And he approached me. I didn't pay for the article. You know, these days there's people saying, you know, we want to give you an award and this is how much it costs, or we want to write about you and this is how much it costs. It's amazing. I'm like stunned. It's definitely not the good old days. But this particular one, David, he's a celebrity photographer and he also has a magazine. So he did a beautiful write up on me yesterday, and he definitely gets me, and I'm so grateful for him.
Mhm. And I also had the wonderful opportunity to be the keynote speaker for the Seroptimus organization, and I spoke to the AVID students, and I had the privilege of encouraging the young 7th and 8th graders, and it's always a pleasure for me to give back to the community and to uplift the community, and I'm grateful for that privilege and that honor to always lift as I climb and lift as they try to climb and reach new heights. So that is a gratitude.
Awesome. And I am grateful that I can multitask, and I just put a story out so that more people can see we're on live now. If you do free subscribe to my YouTube channel, you will get an alert. So it'll be easier for you to join us here in studio. I am grateful for Saturday is the celebration of life for my bonus mom. And I am grateful that I will get to see the entire family that's coming in from all over the place. And I finished the 200 photo video of all of the ways in which my bonus mom, Dolores Martin, just really had so many amazing experiences and relationships in her 92 years of life on the planet. And what a role model to for me. She definitely was probably one of the first multi-hyphenates, Dr. Tiffanie, in that she would not sit still. She did everything. She was knitting and felting and crocheting and selling those crafts up until 91 years of age. So
Wow,
for that, I'm
amazing.
grateful. Yeah.
And Jerry put a gratitude in the
Oh,
Cashew
yay.
Gallery.
Let's see. It's right here. Glad to be here this morning. Grateful to be here and wonderfully blessed to be your sorority sister and friend. Oh, very nice. Very nice. I feel the love. Let's go to the bottom of the bun. Dr. Tiffanie, what do you like about yourself?
I like the fact that I am an encourager, and no matter what is happening to me, I can still find the wherewithal to help someone else. And I think that that speaks volumes.
And I do know that about you. Definitely. I am grateful that I came up with this good life habit hashtag Blisscipline through some plus years ago to start each and every day in the most positive way. And that I'll knock out two things that I like about myself with that, which is creativity and stick-to-itness. Thank you. Last appreciation or gratitude turned inwards.
And I had the privilege of attending 2 conferences back to back. I went to the sorority conference in Oakland, and then I went to Las Vegas to a women's conference called Own It. And I was sitting at the table with a lot of the organizers at a VIP table for the Own It conference of talking about the gratitudes inadvertently because one of the exercises was similar to this. And I just happened to bring up to a woman, well, what do you like about yourself? And she was talking about a lot of negative things. And I said, oh, no, no, no. we are not going to go down that road. And I said, well, I want you, and I turned it around on herself. I said, I want you to stop looking bad or stop thinking bad about yourself. And I started taking her to our journey to the inward you. Remember that when we had
Yes.
that conference or when we had that episode?
Uh-huh.
And I said, whenever you think something negative about yourself, I want you to say, I am that. And I want you to flip that script. And so when you say, I'm ugly, say I want you to say I am beautiful. Or when you say I'm not smart, I want you to say I am smart. And so I want you to have positive affirmations. And I believe that now I can think more positively about myself. So I like the fact that I can be positive towards myself.
Absolutely. Beautiful, beautiful. And I appreciate, my final appreciation is that I can receive compliments now much better than I could in the past. In the past, people would say, I would love it when people would say, oh, you're so wonderful, and put me on that pedestal. And then I'd say, thank you very much. And then I'd turn around and that voice in my head would say, oh, that's because they really don't know you. They don't see you when you're not on the show. You're not all that, blah, blah, blah. But today, I have come a long way, baby. Remember Virginia Slims? Dr. Marissa, the show is definitely an inspiration to me. I'm so glad I found out about it. You are amazing. Thank you. I receive. Keep up the marvelous work you're doing. Woman power. Love it. And for that compliment, you definitely get an acknowledgement. Because Jerry, I will say it takes amazing to see amazing.
Mhm.
And that's my reaction, and I'm sticking to it. And thank you so much for joining us for breakfast. I hope that whether you're with me or not every weekday morning, you start the day with gratitudes. And then before you go to bed at night, we talk about appreciation, because I want you to work that muscle so you know how good you are. That way, when you get an insult or you don't get someone saying you're great, you're not going to fall apart. In fact, you know who you are at the core of who you are. And every single one of us is loving, lovable, and loved. 88% perfect, fabulous. 12% of the time we step in it, but we don't dwell on that before bed so we can get a good night's sleep. Thank you for joining us for breakfast. And now for the topic of the day. It says, everything is awesome. Dr. Tiffanie, what is the topic for today?
The topic of the day: safe spaces and places. And you might as well add safe people too. I thought this was a good topic because things are crazy right now. And we need to know where to go, and who to talk to. And I thought this was appropriate because some people are at their wits' end, and you need to know who to confide in and who not to confide in.
I'm always, I love it when I asked that. I rarely ask her. She'll be good and on time with, this is the topic we're going to talk about it. And it's always fun because there could be different ways to interpret, right? Safe spaces, safe places. And, I wasn't quite sure the angle, but I love it when I discover the angle. And it's a great topic, especially as you say, these days, who are your closed-mouthed friends who don't, it reminds me when I do organization development consulting in organizations, in companies, I will tell them that the best communication process in organizations is when someone says to you, now don't tell anyone, but, or you didn't hear it from me, but that guaranteed, if someone says that to you, y'all know that every single thing that you have heard or said is now all over the organization. And it would behoove you to not share, that is not a safe person if they're saying those words, because it's not the
Mhm.
first time they said that.
Oh, absolutely. And my pastor would always say, if you say, well, can you keep this secret? If you can't keep a secret, how can you expect somebody else to keep your secret? Because if you can't even keep your own secret, you can't be true to yourself. How can you expect somebody else to be true to you? So just think about it. You're not even being true to yourself. Things will
Absolutely.
make you go, hmm.
Mhm. Mhm. And we kind of like, it's a not useful habit. I try to stay away from good or bad, but it's a not useful habit to spread negative things about people, situations, but it is kind of that, moth to flame, right? And like, you
Mhm.
shouldn't look at the roadkill as you're driving by. And then the last second, you just can't help yourself. And it's like, "Ah!" Same with accidents, right? What's that expression? It's nothing to celebrate, but you just can't help but go and check out that accident to go, ooh. So there's a part of
Yeah.
us that doesn't want to be safe, or the part of us that wants to look for something to spread that is not positive, definitely.
Mhm. And so, we're rubbernecking. We're looking to we wanna
That's
know
the
what's
word.
going on.
That's the word.
Mhm.
I couldn't remember rubbernecking.
Yes, yes, we're rubbernecking. We're just turning our necks. We wanna see, we wanna know, and we're just nosy. And so what is a safe space? So it's an environment where an individual feels comfortable and supported, free from judgment or harm, and they feel where they can express themselves and without any judgment. And it's a place where they feel like they can be themselves, feel free. I don't know if you have that, whether it's in your relationship, whether it's with your family, whether it's with your kids, whether it's with your friends. Everyone might have bits and pieces here or there, but sometimes things change, sometimes things fall apart, dynamics change, people change. And so policies change at work. I know I've heard from different people with the current climate, people feel threatened, and you can't always feel free to say anything around everybody.
Mhm.
So sometimes you have to be careful what you say and who you say it to.
And what you post and what you
Yes,
comment on. Because
yes.
I will definitely chime in here and say one of the only, well, I shouldn't say one of the only things, but one of the things that Dr. Phil actually said that I can use is you cannot unring a bell. You cannot unring a bell. You cannot take back things that are said, even what, 30 years ago. So, the star of Amelia Perez is going through that now, things that she said in the past in tweets. Even if you delete your account, someone has a record of what you said. And I reiterate, if you're posting or commenting and you're saying anything controversial, know that even if you remove it, someone will screenshot it and it will come back and haunt you if it is not edifying. And for that, I'm grateful that I still, knock on wood, have, a clean slate when it comes to social media. I make it a point of not criticizing or, lambasting or, just going crazy there, because really,
Mm,
and especially in written word, 7% of content is communication. If you don't have the vocal tone, pitch, and volume of your voice, which you don't in a text or a tweet or a post or a comment, you're also missing 53% of the cues in body language, facial expression. So I don't know why people expect themselves to be understood in a written text, even. I make it a point now, if I see things in my text conversation starting to be misunderstood or misunderstood, I will call and say, before this, I see that you're not reacting the way that I wanted to. Let me just make sure you understand what I'm saying.
Mhm. But
So,
then you have to look at why people do these things. They're doing it for a purpose. They're looking for validation. Like you said, they're misunderstood, but they're looking to be understood, and they're looking for a sense of empowerment. And right now, people feel like they lack power, they lack understanding. And the question is, how do we give them power? How do we give people a voice? And they are posting and they are searching for ways to communicate with others. And I can't necessarily say I have the answer. So, where is your safe space? Where is your way to be understood? And who do you want to talk to? So, but the importance is that you can help reduce those feelings of isolation and stress and promote mental health. But right now, I think it's important to just focus on um, defining what it is your needs are and how we need to get those needs met. But when you're looking at different problems, what are some of the issues you've had with finding a safe space, Dr. Marissa?
yeah, I'm dealing with this right now. I mean, the two people that I've been uh absolutely safe to fall back into. I used to say that about my Chinese dad, that I could fall into him and that I could be me and I could say whatever. And, even when I was not, great, I could count on my Chinese dad to love me unconditionally and support. He was my biggest fan. And when he passed from lymphoma and I became uh, close to my bonus mom and dad, Dolores and Graham, those two for the past 5,808 days, but who's counting? I would talk to them almost every day and be able to, they were my safe place. And in this past year with the health ailing for my bonus mom who just passed, and now my bonus dad's 95, I had to sit and look at, okay, my community, my safe place is, going to heaven. They're going to go back into love pretty soon. And what kind of a foundation do I have in terms of people who I have a safe place with? And that in this past year has driven me to hold people hostage. I'm just kidding. But I have a friend who I've had her friendship for 16 years, but I wasn't like super close to her, right? I always knew she was there, but that relationship is a safe place. And it's always funny because she'll say, now don't tell anybody, right? That thing. But my response is, who am I going to tell? Like, I'm not even, friends with any of the people that would be interested. Plus, I'm so grateful I have that reputation of not blabbing. Like, people don't come to me for the scoop. I don't want the scoop. I don't know the scoop. I don't want to know. Like, talk to the hand. Like, when someone says, you want to know something, or do you want to know, did you hear about such? I will literally say, if it's not positive, you don't have to tell me because I
Okay,
don't
so I have
want
a
to know.
joke. Can I
Huh?
tell a joke? So
Yes,
can I
please,
tell a joke?
please, please,
Because
please.
my pastor would tell this joke. So there were three pastors fishing, and one pastor says, I want to disclose, I want us all to disclose a problem that we have. So one pastor says, I have a problem stealing. I never pay my taxes. And so the other pastor says, he said, but I just had to get that off my chest. The other pastor says, okay, whew, I'm glad we can do this. The other pastor says, okay, I have a problem drinking, and I just drink all the time. Sometimes even when I preach, I'm drunk. And he says, "Okay, good. I'm glad I got this off my chest." And they're looking at the other pastor, and he's just rocking back and forth, rocking back and forth. And they're like, "Okay, tell us what your problem is." He says, "Whew, I can't tell you." They're like, "Come on, just tell us." He said, "I have a problem with gossiping, and I can't wait to get off this boat and tell all your business."
That is cute. That is cute. Yeah. So I do have safe spaces now. My younger daughter, Sarah, who's like my heart, and I know you're not supposed to have favorites. She's not my favorite. I just know if I want sympathy, I do not go to my older daughter. She's
Use tough
very
love.
objective. OMG, my older daughter is like me or my mom, very, she will not take your side first. She needs to hear all the facts, and then she has no problem saying, "No, mom, you're wrong."
She's
So I don't.
measured. She's very measured and pragmatic. That's what we'll call
She's
her.
very pragmatic, and I definitely my Sarah is much more heart led, so she'll take my side no matter what. So I love that. It's maybe not good for my own self-development, but yeah, I do have safe places. Who are your safe places to go to?
Well, I have a couple of safe places. My safe place dynamics is always changing.
Mm,
I would say my first safe space is God, because I can always go to God in prayer, and
good,
I
good point.
always feel the love and the warmth there. So I can always get on my knees and go to God in prayer, and I thank God for that. Um, I say my next safe space would be my kids, actually. They are always supportive of me. I can't go to them with everything because some stuff is just not appropriate for children.
Mhm, mhm. I'm
So
glad to hear that.
so what is appropriate for them, I will take to them because
Mm,
they are very loving and supportive. They are always like, "I'm here for you, mom."
mm,
And since Mia is home with me, she's always there for me. She's like, I can, and the funny part is that I can not tell her something, and she can look at me and she can hear it in my voice. And she's like, "I know something's wrong. Tell me, tell
mm,
me, tell
mm.
me." And I'm like, "I don't want to tell you." She's like, "You better tell me." And so it's very funny because she's like, you need to tell me, mom." And Nathaniel, he'll call me. He's like, he wants to FaceTime me, and he can see it in me, and they'll dig it out of me even if I don't want to tell them. So they're
Oh,
very cute like that. They're both very empathetic to me.
yeah.
And my next safe space would be my mom
Mom
tea.
T, I was
Yeah.
just about to guess that. Yeah. Yeah. I never did text her around I ran out of time for the
For tennis.
tennis. Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it was raining so much that day. She's like, "I'm not going out in the rain."
Oh, okay. So I'm
So
melting. Yeah. Yeah.
that part.
That part. Yeah, I saw that the play had been suspended a couple of times actually. And before
Mhm.
I forget, um, because I do like to promote things that I think are amazing. And there's two movies out right now, if you can catch them before they go. One is My Dead Friend Zoe.
Mhm.
It sounds like a horror film or a comedy, whatever. It is nothing like that. It is an amazing, especially for veterans. So if you have a chance, go see that. And then the other one is ah shoot. I'll have to look for it. I swear to goodness, I have the best memory, but the worst recall. But I'll come back with that. But it's and I said that because I forgot that too. I okay, okay. But okay, I haven't told you this, so there's a reason this is happening. I took a really bad fall on
Oh,
Saturday
no.
night. Yeah, I almost called you because I didn't know whether to go to the doctor or not. Because I slipped like a banana peel. I hit in the garage. I was so careful. I was coming back from a vampire ball that I covered in Burbank. So driving at night at 11 p.m. I was so careful on the road. And then I get out of the car and I walk around to the elevator, hit that slick little patch, went up in the air like a banana peel thing and came right down on my back. And so there's no blood in where my kidney is. So there's no blood. That's good. But it is so painful. So because I have stenosis and all that. So I've been taking, this is my third and last night taking something for it. But it does affect your memory. It's true. When you take, any kind of medication for pain, it affects your memory. And you just saw an example of that. But I'm doing heat and ice and all the things that you told me before last time when I hurt my back. So every hour it gets better.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. We'll be patient with your memory. It's all good.
Thank you. Today is definitely not my memory day, but so glad you've joined us. I see Ramona Bridges is in the house as well. Peace and peace out to you. We're going to take a quick break for news, weather, traffic, and a word from our sponsor. So don't go away. We'll be right back. Chuck O'Leary used to say in 2 and 2. It's not going to be that long, but peace in and peace out. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
Hi, my name is Dr. Tiffanie Tate, and I am an author, and I am here to talk to you about bad touching. This is the story of two sisters who go to school and learn that they have been touched inappropriately. This will help your child learn to speak up and speak out about incidences. You can buy this book on Amazon as well as Barnes & Noble. The next book is Money Matters. This story is about three brothers who find a $100 bill while walking home from a park, and they rush home to meet their mother, and she tells them about how to save, tithe, and invest that money. Pick this book up today. The next book is Little Engine Mia Sings. It is available as on an audiobook as well. You can pick this up on Amazon as well as Barnes & Noble. You can get all these books on my website as well, www.drtiffanitate.com. That is www.drtiffanitate.com. Get your book today.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa Pay.
And we're back. You're tuned in to Take My Advice. I'm not using it. Get Balance with Dr. Marissa, the morning show here on KCAA, NBC News Radio, home to the Asian Oprah, and #1 talk in the IE. Thank you very much. Streaming everywhere, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and of course my YouTube TV channel, where if you free subscribe, give us the finger, not that one, but this one, you'll tune in every weekday morning on the show about hope and happiness. And today, as you can tell from the beautiful woman in studio with me today, my co-host with the mostest, Dr. Tiffanie Tate. This is my very special Wednesday series called Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
Welcome back. And we are talking about safe spaces and safe places. Do you have someone or someone's that you can go to and trust them, that you can be yourself, that you can talk about whatever it is that you need to talk about and make sure doesn't go anywhere? And Dr. Tiffanie, I totally agree with you. The first person that I every morning I meditate, and that's my time with my God, who I call my UPS man, my universal power source. I plug into that energy, that positive love energy, inspiration, creativity, wonder, bliss, all of that. I'm infused with it first thing in the morning before I get out of bed. And that's who I go to first. And so I would, a little public service announcement for anyone who feels like they don't have anyone and they feel like they are, on a desert island and nobody cares, and they don't have a concept of a power greater than themselves or a God or whatever you want to call that, faith in something outside of yourself, that's a choice, and go at it, but know that that will lead to isolation, loneliness, depression, anger, random. If you believe, I'll just, Einstein says the most important question a human being has to answer is the universe friendly or not? And if you, in this day particularly, keep you open your eyes, and the first thing you do is look at the headlines, which are all not just negative, but they're terrifying these days. If that's how you are living your life, no wonder you want to go back to bed or stay in bed, or no wonder you want to go and ram your car into something. That is your choice. You can choose to live in a friendly universe. Focus on the things that are going well. Don't focus on the things that aren't. And that's my discipline. And I can say that I love my life because I choose to believe that the universe is friendly. So I would offer that to anyone right now who accidentally, #accidentally, not accidentally, has tuned in and are listening to these words. Because I know Dr. Tiffanie and I, we really do want you to be happy most of the time, 88% of the time.
Mm-hmm. And when you're looking to see if someone is safe, there are certain characteristics you want to look for. You want to see if they're going to respect your boundaries, if they're going to be reliable. Are they going to do what they say that they're going to do? Are they going to be honest with you? Are they going to show empathy towards you? If you're feeling sad, are they going to respect your sadness? Are they going to support you in how you feel? And are they going to be reactive to how you feel? Are they going to be respectful of your feelings? And are they going to try to control you? Because you don't want anyone trying to control your actions or what you're doing. That's not someone who truly is a safe space for you, because no one wants a puppet, or no one wants to be a puppet. I know I don't.
Mm-hmm. And I think that if you have an expectation that you can say anything to anyone, that you're most likely you think you have a right for everyone to know your opinion. That is not true. Everybody does not need to know your opinion. I would say maybe 2 or 3 people, or no more than the palm of your hand, of people that are safe spaces. When you get to the point where you think that everyone should know your opinion, I'm doing the balance thing here. That's also not healthy, right? That you want to keep that group a little bit close, right? There's certain things you say to some people, but not to other people.
Yeah, I'm laughing because I told Nathaniel that everything that comes to his mind shouldn't come out of his mouth. It needs to be a filter. Because
Yep.
some things are appropriate and some things are not appropriate.
Yeah.
Some things are just downright disrespectful. So we have to be respectful of what we say to certain people at certain times.
Yeah.
And we have to be aware. There's a self-awareness, and you have to know what's appropriate and what's not appropriate.
Maybe it's the oldest child thing, because I say the same thing to Chloe, because she's the oldest and Daniel's the oldest. So that's funny. That's funny.
Yeah.
So, any more research there? I know you always do.
Oh,
research on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So there's details of signs of a safe person. So like I was saying before, a safe person will respect your boundaries. They'll understand and respect personal boundaries, whether it's physical, emotional, or relational. So if you're in a relationship, they'll respect your boundaries, respect what you want. So if you're saying, I want more intimacy, I want less intimacy, they won't try to force those things. If you want more time or less time, they'll respect those things within reason. Reliability and consistency and consistency in their action and words, creating a sense of predictability and trust. Because if that's what you're wanting, they want to show that they're going to be safe for you. Honesty and transparency. They'll show themselves to be truthful and open, avoiding any type of deception or withholding of information, because then you're going to be looking at them with the side eye, and nobody wants that in a safe space.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Empathy and understanding. They'll show that they are genuine in care and understanding for others' feelings, needs, and perspectives. Responsibility and accountability. They'll take ownership of their actions and mistakes rather than blaming others and avoiding responsibility. There will be open communication. They'll communicate openly and honesty, creating a safe space for sharing thoughts and feelings. Active listening. They listen attentively and without judgment, validating your emotions and experiences. Instead of being like, well, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel. They'll be like, okay, I accept your feelings and your emotions, and it's okay that you feel that way, because your feelings are your feelings. Nobody can take away your feelings. Respect for differences. They acknowledge and respect that people have different opinions, different beliefs, and different values. Nobody can change your beliefs or values. They are yours. Growth and self-reflection. They're open to feedback and willing to learn and grow rather than becoming defensive or resistant to change. And they'll have healthy boundaries themselves, and respect the boundaries of others. And lastly, there'll be emotional safety. They'll create a safe space where you feel comfortable expressing your emotions and vulnerabilities. Because if they're safe, you want to communicate as opposed to shut down and not communicate.
Great list. I will do a little caveat on the balance side. I've been looking for a best friend my entire life. And I've had a realization that best friends are kind of like romantic relationships, just the same way that I have a book of romance and many different chapters. I used to envy people. Oh, she's been my friend since elementary school. She's my best friend. I tell her everything, blah, blah, blah. And I used to be so like, oh, that's what I want. And then feel sorry for myself because I didn't have that. Like I had a best friend for 10 years. And then she did something that I didn't approve of. And there's not much that I don't approve of. So, it was, I don't want to give it out, but, and so that friendship ended. And I remember the first time I thought I had a best friend. I tend to rush in sometimes with people and, make them hold them hostage without understanding that, no one's perfect, including yourself, but you still have those perfect expectations that you just read on the list of, that's what you want. And you're not going to get that because no one can be that all the time. And they're going to have some, 12% hiccups too. So just to temper that expectation, and to also realize that your safe spaces may change, and that also it takes time to decide whether someone's a safe space or not. Like it's not a let's sit down and then pour out your heart when you haven't tested a little bit of this and a little bit of that. And Dr. Tiffanie, would you agree or disagree that a safe space sometimes does give you some tough love? Like it's not always, you're not safe to say everything and talk about everything all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Because for me, I I'm I'm not good with listening to the same complaining story more than once. And
Oh,
so
absolutely.
I don't want to be your safe space to vomit up your stuff constantly. And y- I, I I'm known for that, which isn't perfect, but I just know myself that I'm very, very, want you to develop into all that you can be. And certainly complaining about your situation more than once without looking at solution, for me, that's just my no P word in my vocabulary because of that. Dr. Tiffany teases me about that all the time. But do you agree?
Oh, absolutely. They should be able to give you some tough love because they say, what is the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different outcome. And there are some questions for self-reflection. Not
Good.
that you need an answer, but some self-reflection. So, have you ever found yourself making excuses for someone's hurtful behavior? And then what steps can you take to prioritize your own well-being in those self situations? You
Mm.
don't need to answer those, but
Yeah, I just came up with this. Was it with you last week that am giving myself permission to love from afar?
yeah, that was with me.
That
Mhm.
was you, right? That's a huge lesson for me. I do sometimes just take it like I expect to be loved and to love like everyone. And there's just some people, it's not worth the effort to continue to go to the tractor for milk. They will never give you milk. They're a tractor. So, now I get to watch the tractor do its thing from afar, right? And try to
Mhm.
minimize that interaction.
Yeah. And another one was, how do you typically respond when someone offers you constructive feedback? Are there areas where you could practice greater openness and receptivity?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's a hard one. Um, my rule, it's a triple three. If three people tell you three times three of the same things, that is tough love, that is criticism, the constructive criticism, that might be something you want to look at. That's a hard one. Nobody likes criticism. I haven't found one person who says, "Oh yeah, give me some feedback. I love it." When people say, "Can I give you some feedback?" I'm like, no. Or I'll
Take that
say,
feedback and
or,
shove
or,
it.
or I'll say, "Yeah, I'll feed it back to you." No, or I'll say, "Yeah, fine, but please don't get it like all over me."
I,
But
well, I, my response is only if it's constructive
mm,
and in love, because I like constructive criticism, but if it's just criticism, you can keep it.
mhm,
I want
mhm.
constructive criticism, but I don't want just criticism.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you. And on that note, no one has the right to be brutally honest ever. Brutal honesty is not something that you can just say, "I'm sorry, that's just how I am. I have to tell it like it is." Bullshitaki. You
Mhm,
do not have to tell it like it is if it's going to hurt someone. You can find a way to say it in a kinder way. Um, Putting mouthwash on someone's desk, right, is
mhm,
a way to give some feedback, or deodorant, anonymously. Uh, m- it's not perfect, and some people will argue with me that's not very either it's unkind, or it is not direct enough. And it depends on the situation, the kind of person they are. Certainly, if you have a relationship, you might want to say, "I don't know if your body chemistry is changing, but I do know that it's hard for me to stand really close and work close with you because I have a really sensitive nose." Like
mhm,
that to me is when I'm giving feedback, it's not about them, it's about me. It's like, how can I want to be closer to you, but this is getting in the way. You have a choice. You can either say, okay, I wasn't aware of that, thanks for letting me know. I usually, when I meet my clients for the first time, I'll say, if there's a situation where I could give you some information that would help you be more effective with everyone or more people, would you want me to tell you that? So you can use
Mhm.
those words even with a friend. I love you, I'm your friend. I don't want to tell you how to live your life, and I certainly don't want to change you. But if there are occasions where I can give you some information that might help you be more effective with a wider group of people, would you want me to tell you? But the best one is this. Uh, I would like to be effective with as many people possible. So if there's ever a time where you see something in me that might be pushing people away, please come and tell me and remind me that I asked for this. Because it sets a tone that I'm receptive. Therefore, if they're like, oh, yes, me too, then I have that permission.
Yeah, that is definitely a good way to approach it. And I would always say, hey, how are you? Have you ever considered doing it this way? And I always look at seeing how my relationship is with the person
Mhm.
and if I'm close to them or not. Because if it's a stranger, well, then I might let it go. But if I'm really close to the person, um, then and if it's a male or a female, I would approach it completely different because if someone I'm really close to, I'll say, I I know that you have X, Y, and Z going on, but I really think that you are struggling in this area. And
Mhm.
I would probably be a little bit more direct and say, people may not have told you, but this is what I recognize.
Mhm.
I tend to be a little bit more direct. I don't want to beat around the bush because if you beat around the bush and sugarcoat it, they may just like drop the ball.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
um, and I
Yeah.
think they would probably be more receptive to it
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
they
It depends. It's one of those, there's a wide variation in people's receptivity to something like that. So it's your job to discern, right?
yeah, the
If this
personality of the person.
Yeah, like, I would wanna know if I have lipstick on my chin. Like, that's just like, please
Or
do
my
not let
teeth.
me or my teeth, stuff like that. Please, all my friends know that that is if I catch myself in the mirror, at the end of the day with that on me, I'm gonna go back to you and say, "Did you see that?" "Yeah, I did." "Why didn't you say something?" Because that would have been
Mhm.
more caring. But certainly, most of the time I use this: nom, 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 nom. None of my business, because
Mhm.
sometimes it really doesn't matter. You don't think that outfit looks good on them. They think it looks good on them. Let
Yeah.
them have that outfit.
Yeah,
Let them
superficial things like
feel
that, I will let it
good.
go. Yes. Yes, yes.
I mean, unless they have toilet paper sticking out of their, pants. Like,
Mhm.
it's not your job to be the fashion police either, unless they're your
Mhm.
kids or, something like that. But that's
But if
certainly
they're being a tyrant to people and they're being disrespectful to people and they're being over the top to people, I think as a friend, and if
I
they're
wouldn't
being
be a friend.
rude.
I wouldn't be a friend to a person
Yeah,
like that.
well, I
So,
mean, if you see their character going awry and you notice a change,
okay.
I think as friends, we should speak up because they may have something going on in their lives. As friends, we should be friendly and talk
Mhm.
to our friends. I would not just cut my friend off.
Yeah.
As friends, we should be friendly and see what's going on in their lives and
Yeah.
say, hey, I see a change going on in your personality. Would you like to talk about it? I would open up the avenue and become a safe space
Yeah.
for someone
Yeah.
and see
For sure.
what they want to talk about in their life, because you don't know what they're struggling with. Everybody might be dealing with something that is impacting them and impacting their personality. So a friend should show themselves friendly and see what is happening to someone, because we don't know what is going on.
Yeah, for sure. I see that we're almost at final word. Well, we are at final word, but I just looked up the second movie. So before I forget, first of all, go back to the theater. I love the theater. I want to support, AMC, of course. I have stock in it. No, just kidding. But I have the A+ and I get to watch 3 movies a week for the cost of 1.5 movies. So that's the cool thing. And it's my way of rewarding myself. The second movie that you have to see is called The Rule Breakers. And that was, I knew nothing about it, but it's a brilliant, and both My Dead Friend Zoe and The Rule Breakers are based on real events, which is my favorite kind of movie. So I wanted to get that out there. All right. Final word, Dr. Tiffanie, on safe spaces and safe places.
Everyone needs a safe space and a safe place, whether it is a friend, a family member, a spiritual leader, your guide. You need a safe space. Mine is God Almighty, my family. Everyone needs a place to decompress. And I think it is important for all of us now to have support and be supportive of one another, because times are hard. And we need to remember that being humankind, to be kind towards one another and be understanding towards one another.
Yes. Thank you, Jerry, for your beautiful concluding compliment there. I'm just pulling up mental health. If you feel like you really do not have anyone that you can talk to, safe space, there's lots of 24/7 mental health numbers. NAMI is one of them. I support that organization, 800-950-6264. I think there's is it 811 now? Do you know, Dr. Tiffanie, for mental health? That's the one I was looking for.
The mental health helpline.
Yeah. So my final word is, if you don't have a safe space, may that be your exercise this week. Who do you know that you know loves you and wants to be there for you, and make them your safe space this week? That's your Happy 88 project. And for those of you who have safe spaces, maybe too many, want to balance that out. It's been a joy, as usual, being here.
The mental health hotline number is 988.
Thank you very much. 988. This is another fabulous edition of Doctors in the House with myself and
Dr. Tiffanie Tate.
And it's all about balance, folks. Hope you heard a lot of that today. Peace in, peace out. World peace through inner peace. Thank you so much for joining us today. Tomorrow it is Throwback Thursdays, and I am highlighting an individual who was on Red Talk. She's been on Larry King. Jane Elliott is one of the greatest educators of valuing diversity, and Lord knows we need that right now. Thanks for joining us today. And now, Dr. Tiffanie, take us out.
Go and have the best day ever.
Take back your life with Dr. Marissa.